Welcome back, friends, to Build a Lot Acres. In today's video, I'm going to show you the tips and tricks so you can easily mount heavy wheel weights yourself. So as you saw in one of our recent videos, I told you how you can transform your old vintage garden tractor into a completely different beast. And one of those ways is to add weight in the right places. Because the reality is these tractors, for the most part, are two-wheel drive and they're fairly lightweight in the grand scheme of things. So to get them to do the best job possible, perform for you optimally, doing tough chores like plowing snow, hauling firewood, tilling gardens, things like that, you want to have weight for your tractor to force it into the ground. So in that video, I talked about how cast iron wheel weights are my personal favorite way to weight these tractors down. They're fairly easy to take on and off compared to something like liquid ballast inside of your tire, and you can adjust the amount of weight and you can stack weights to make it more or less depending on what you're trying to do. But with that said, some of the wheel weights are pretty lightweight. They're 25 pounds, which really isn't all that bad to try to install one of these in the tire yourself. But when you get into something like this, this is a 70-pound weight. Trying to put this inside the tire, get your bolts in place, get your nuts on your bolts, isn't an easy task. And I'm going to show you some tips and tricks I've discovered over the years to make the process much easier. The first thing you're probably going to want to do is make sure the wheel weight that you have is designed for your garden tractor rim. Most of your 12-inch rim garden tractors are going to have an 8.5-inch hole spacing for those square holes, which is what the industry standard is for 12-inch garden tractor rims for wheel weights. So what most people are going to use to mount their wheel weights to their tractor rim is going to be a 1/2-inch carriage bolt. That is going to have a square shoulder. It's going to go inside that square hole. Most every garden tractor rim is going to have 4 square holes, and the purpose of those is to mount wheel weights. Here's where the first tip comes in. And that first tip is you don't have to use all 4 holes and 4 bolts. I've been using 2 bolts per wheel weight for the last 20 years, and I've never had an issue. I've never had one come loose. I've never had the wheel weight fall off. I've never had the rim get damaged. Keep in mind, these tractors are going to be going 5 miles an hour. Most of them are going to top out at 8 miles per hour in high gear, and most people are not doing heavy work in high gear. So if we figure, 4 or 5 miles an hour is how fast you're going to be going. That's not fast enough to cause the wheel weight to jerk. And in my opinion, you don't need 4 bolts. You can use 4 if it makes you feel better, but it can be a little trickier to mount, and it is going to cost you a little more money in bolts. But that's a personal preference. But that's the first thing I'm going to say is 2 bolts per wheel weight, in my opinion, is plenty. Keep in mind, most of these wheel weights are 25 to 50 pounds, sometimes 75 pounds. We're not talking hundreds of pounds going 20, 25 miles an hour. We're talking 50 pounds going 4 to 5 miles an hour. Second tip I'm going to give you, lay your wheel weight flat. Get bolts are maybe, in my opinion, 1.5 to 2 inches longer than your wheel weight. If you try to get it within a 1/2 inch, I think you're going to have a real hard time pushing the weight on far enough to get your nut started. I would rather have it be a little longer and cut your carriage bolt after with an angle grinder or a hacksaw or something than have it be too short, because 1/2 inch really isn't enough. So I would get at least 1 inch longer than how thick your wheel weight is. Even 1.5 inches would really work. Next thing I'm going to say is, in my opinion, try to get carriage bolts that have full threads the entire way. You can get carriage bolts that are almost all smooth shank, just a little bit of thread. You can get carriage bolts that have smaller amounts of smooth and then mostly threads. I prefer getting ones that are fully threaded, and the reason for that is it always seems to be the way that when you've got one that has a partial smooth, you end up tightening the nut all the way, and you hit that smooth section before it's fully seated and tight, and then you have to take it off and do a different length carriage bolt. It just turns into a pain. Suppose you could try to get a tap and die set and tap it a little, but that's also a lot of work. So in my opinion, get carriage bolts that are about 1.5 inches longer than you need, and get ones that are fully threaded. All right, so here's probably going to be the biggest tip of the video. We are going to put two of our carriage bolts in there, and we're going to tighten them in place. Now, obviously, you want to do two that are across from each other. You don't want to do two on the same side of the rim, but now because of the square shoulder and the carriage bolt, you are going to have to put something like a spacer, like a big washer over that. It clears that section. I'm going to use a couple little slices of 1/2 inch steel pipe. Could use something like a 5/8 or maybe a 3/4 inch washer. You may have to stack one or two together, but you want to clear the shoulder of the carriage bolt, if I can find one. But basically all you're trying to do is clear that square shoulder. The spacer is going to allow you to get a nice tight flat seal, because without the spacer your nut is going to hit that square shoulder and you're probably going to have a hard time. So I like to use an open-ended box wrench for things like this. It seems like if you try to use a socket, it's never deep enough and you always bottom out the socket before you get the nut tight. So open-ended box wrench is probably the best bet. Just take our car jack, we're going to line it up with the center of that rim. Then we're going to take a piece of steel pipe and we're going to clamp it right to that jack. Now, you obviously want a pretty strong clamp. This is an Irwin quick clamp and it has a 600-pound clamping force. Just to give you a little perspective, an average adult male, I'm going to say, probably can squeeze maybe 150 pounds if they're lucky with one hand. A really strong guy that does like construction, or maybe someone that specializes in forearm training, like an arm wrestler or someone like that, maybe 200 pounds, maybe up to 250. That would be like world class grip strength. So this is 3 to 4 times as strong as your average adult male can squeeze. The point is, this ain't going nowhere. So let's get 70-pound weight loaded up on that pipe. Now for this portion, I do prefer using a socket over an open-ended wrench just because it's easier to get in there. Well, there you guys have it. 170-pound mounted wheel weight. You could do this for any wheel weight, really. You could use it if you're stacking 25s or something like that, but it's just an easy way to do it yourself. And some people just can't physically pick up 70 pounds and put it on, how you would normally do it. Maybe they have a shoulder issue or a back issue or an arm issue, which leads me into one last thing. I'd like to do a call of action for all my fellow guide and tractor enthusiasts. So that call of action is going to be a good friend of mine, Noel. He lives up in Prince Edward Island. He's been a subscriber to my channel pretty much since the beginning, from 5.5 years ago when I started. He also has his own YouTube channel called Noel's Garden Tractors and Firewood. And he just seems like a really great, genuine guy, the kind of guy you would like to hang out with and someone you'd love to have as a friend and a neighbor. And he's having some issues right now. He's having some health issues. You could see it in his face in his last video. He's having a really hard time. He's in a lot of pain. I believe it's either his arm or his shoulder or both. But he said he had the exact same issue last year around this same time. And we all know how bad it stinks when you want to be outside doing stuff and you just can't because you're in so much physical pain. And it can mentally wear you down and get you down in the dumps, which seems to me like he is down in those dumps. So if we could all gather together and come together and support Noel, that would be awesome. If you could go over to his channel, again, it's called Noel's Garden Tractors and Firewood. Maybe subscribe to his channel, leave some positive comments on some of his videos, maybe cheer him up a little bit. That'd be really, really amazing, I think, because at the end of the day, we're a small group of men and women. There's not a lot of people that are into these old garden tractors when you look at the total percentage of the population. We represent a small niche of people that are into these tractors. So if we could all support each other, I think that'd be a really good thing. So with all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you found these tips and tricks helpful for mounting wheel weights on your garden tractor. See you next time. I think old Brett will be all set now. In addition to these 70-pound cast weights, he also has fluid in these 23 by 8.5 by 12 True Power lug tires. And he has two 47-pound steel discs on the back of the tractor. So all told, he has a good amount of weight. And I'll tell you what, this 220 is a monster in the snow and the mud. If you guys haven't seen the Snow Beast video where he plows 10 inches of snow with this, you've got to check it out. It's just awe-inspiring stuff.